Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, babies. My cat's just started a fight. Wait, hold up. Let's try this one again. Ignoring what just happened, welcome back to my Chanel and welcome back to r/petty revenge. Let's jump headfirst into these delicious stories. I got shoved into a pool by my aunt's friend, so I sprayed him with a water gun, making him furious. Water won't kill you. Well, rain won't kill you. Today, we were invited to my aunt's house for Thanksgiving to celebrate, since we like visiting her. After I finished eating our Thanksgiving meal, we all went to the pool except for this one guy. Let's call him Greg. I'm sorry about Shadow in the background. She really wants you to hear her, and she's singing for you all, so please appreciate Shadow singing. He was always invited to my aunt's house since she feels bad that nobody invites him. I wonder why nobody invites him. After I change into my bathing suit and I start walking up to the pool where Greg was sitting in a chair, but he decided to stand up and sneak behind me and shoving me into. Sorry, the grammar is really bad. Behind me, pretend comma, shoving me into the pool very hard, causing me to fall. After this, I decided to get a little payback, so I found a water gun that my friend had and loaded it. When Greg came back, I sprayed him with the water gun and he started yelling at me to the top of his lungs, calling me a piece of shit, and how he pushed me as a joke and how he ruined his clothes, even though he started and I barely know him. He proceeded to complain to my mother and aunt about what happened and everyone started laughing at him for being stupid. Then he lost it and just sat down watching football for the rest of the day. Top comment, fuck Greg. The next comment underneath, I don't see how that will help, but if you insist. I understand now why he's not invited anywhere. God, it's just a little bit of water. Calm down, baby girl, calm down, princess. A man was very rude to my grandma, so I got my revenge. Unless they deserve it, how dare you be rude to a grandma? They are very sweet and kind most of the time. I was shopping with my Gma for Thanksgiving at the local supermarket. There's a lot of Thanksgiving posts considering it was yesterday. Nobody's very thankful in the giving season, are they? It was very busy and all the carts make things very slow to move. I hear a disgruntled harump. I've never seen that word. Like, I've said it, but I've never seen it spelled out from behind me, and see some 40 something man almost ramming his way through. He hits the cart my grandmother is holding, jostling her slightly. A clear accident, I would have thought, until I heard him say some people are really rude. I almost did a double take when I heard that. To say this annoyed me is an understatement. We tried to brush it off and continue shopping. About 5 minutes later, I see him again, walking toward the bathroom. I immediately have a brilliant idea. I tell my Gma I'm going back to the produce section and hurry off. I find his cart quickly because he had a lot of water stacked in it. I wheel the cart off in the opposite direction and take it to the other side of the store and wedge it in a corner out of everyone's way, near the employee entrance. Hopefully he didn't block the entrance. Walking back to my Gmail with a smile on my face. While in the checkout line, I see him walking around confused with a really ugly mug. Grandma asked why I was smiling so much, and I told her I remembered something really funny. I like it because now he's got to go. It doesn't hurt him, and it's a little bit of petty revenge. But make sure you didn't block over the employee entrance because the employees did nothing. A neighbor kept borrowing, in bunny quotes, my tools until I returned the favor. I apologize if you hear my dryer in the background. I don't know if the mic's picking it up. I've got laundry, and this is the only free time I have this week to record, so I apologize. This happened a while back, but a Reddit post jogged my memory. I used to have this neighbor who treated my tool collection like his personal rental service, except the part where you actually return them. Most of the time I didn't care because I didn't use the tools often, but I ended up having to wander over days later to reclaim my belongings. One time I actually needed a tool back, only to find out that he borrowed it and then loaned it to one of his buddies. That tool vanished into the void forever. And by lent, do you mean that he gifted it or sold it? Because I would not be surprised with people like that. The audacity does not stop. Granted, I should have handled this better, but a few days later, to make this end, I asked him to borrow his lawnmower. I made the excuse I always let you borrow my tools. I used it and put it back exactly where it belonged. I just forgot to return the keys. When he came over the next day demanding them back, granted I was always friendly when asking for my stuff back. Oh, I remembered last night I left them with Jimmy. He said he'd mail them back to you. After the neighbor left, I actually went and put the keys in the mail. Weirdly enough, and at this point thankfully, he never asked to borrow anything again from me. Edit correct grammar to appease the grammar police. Yes, right. There's nothing. Right. As much as the grammar does annoy me, pointing it out is just going to be a bit of a dick move. If you lent property to someone and someone else and it wasn't returned, then you should have paid for a replacement. That was a comment. I'm just scrolling through the comments. Some of these petty revenges are like, you know, as the title says, petty because they're small and they don't hurt anybody. But I'm like, oh, give me something big, give me something dramatic, give me something juicy, like my ass. My roommate kept snoring and refused to address it, so I recorded her and played it whenever she tried to rest. This is awful. I work and live on a cruise ship. Depending on the route, we dock every 2 to 4 days, but that's hot. If you don't get the joke, please don't come for me. We have one roommate and we bunk beds, with me on top. Oh, God, you're docking and you're on top. I'm a performer, so we get to pick our roommates, and my roommate never told me that she snored. Very loudly, too. I tried earplugs. Nope. I have big over-the-ear headphones and was playing music. I can still hear her. I can even hear her over the ship docking, and our room is near the anchor. It's loud. Does she have issues with her sinuses? Issues with her breathing? Does she have sleep apnea? Like, she should probably get that checked out, just in case. It's loud snoring. People just snore full stop, and it's probably nothing serious. But just in case it's like sleep apnea. Her snoring is not only loud; it's concerning because she chokes in her sleep. Yeah, it's sleep apnea. She chokes in her sleep too. For the first time I heard it, I almost fell out of my bunk to rush and check on her. I think she was having some kind of medical emergency. She's having sleep apnea. I talked to her to see if we could come up with a solution, and she basically shot me down because she thought since she was sleeping fine, it wasn't a big deal. She's sleeping fine. Also, it's really hard to change roommates unless something major happens, and snoring isn't considered one of those, despite me voicing my lack of sleep. I did my best to live with it and was fed up when I got done with a long day of work, 9 a.m. till 11 p.m. Jesus. The paycheck though. And had to be up at 6 a.m. The snoring only allowed me 2 hours of sleep, so I decided to record her. The next day when I was going to the room for a break, she was there and said she was going to take a nap. I was like, okay. And she laid down and I started playing her snoring. She immediately shot up and looked at me like I was insane. When all I did was stare at her and she asked me to turn it off. I just said, well, this is you snoring and you said it's not a big deal, so why should I? It is a little creepy, recording someone's sleep, but, you know, you're in it for the revenge. She gets really mad, says a few choice words, and leaves the room. For about 3 days, whenever she tried to rest, I play her own snoring back. Finally, I get called in for a meeting with our manager because my roommate was mad at me. I explained my side of the story because roommate failed to mention that she refused to address her snoring. It's such a weird thing out of context. Roommate is angry that the manager didn't fully take her side, even though she was being difficult by not trying to address her snoring and brushing off my need for sleep. We ended up getting moved with new roommates. Yeah, right. I ran to the comments because this is 100% sleep apnea, and everybody is agreeing. Yeah, you can get a CPAP. That's what I was thinking. Like, get her checked up. And now hearing that it's most likely sleep apnea, you can get stuff that would help with sleeping, and that's the addressing part. Yeah, sleep apnea can be caused. Someone's saying that their sleep apnea was caused by a cranial deformity in their airways and the bone structure in their skull, and they had to have surgery. So, ignoring it because it's a little embarrassing is not a good idea. Because, you know, life saving surgeries and a CPAP machine, plus it'll help people sleep, your friends, your co workers, and your future partner. Yeah, she could die of a stroke in her sleep if she doesn't address it. Yeah, refusing to address it is very concerning. She needs a CPAP. Yeah, everybody's urging. I hope OP sees all these comments and does convince them to get a CPAP. And hopefully this person does have a CPAP, actually. We need an update. Please get your CPAP machine. Please get any medical checkups. The sleep apnea isn't a good thing. You could die. And on that bleak note, I think that's a great place to end. So, get checked up if you don't feel good, if something feels wrong, or if someone starts to complain about something sounds embarrassing. Don't be embarrassed. The doctors have heard worse and seen worse and done worse. Get checked up, get checked out, and I'll see you in the next video, my babies. Mwah.